Hey guys, hello, and welcome, heartfelt welcome from me as always. Welcome to our podcast, The Big Questions, with me, John Munn, where we take a whole host of subjects that come into us, whether it's via TikTok or the live Q&As, where we just take subjects and we offer unique insight and help and interpretation of challenges and stuff that every single one of us go through at some point. So again, heartfelt thanks and gratitude to you all for taking an interest in this work, because we're really just trying to make a difference, spreading the love and spreading knowledge and sharing wisdom, to help each and every one of us along our path. Because at some point or another, we all need that little bit of help and we all need that little bit of guidance. So welcome, heartfelt gratitude to you all for joining us on this podcast. Okay, so the big question on this episode is, why should I cultivate trust in life and trust in my life? Again, I mean, just a beautiful question. And we're just going to talk about we're going to talk a little bit, I guess, about, first of all, about what trust. I want to ask you what trust means to you. And I'm not talking here about, are you a trustworthy person on a personal basis? I'm talking more about, do you consider that you trust the process of life and you trust the unfoldment of your life? Because it's a beautiful thing to consider, and a very deep and profound creation of well-being in our lives when we can learn to cultivate and build that place of inner trust and confidence within us. I mean, so when we talk about trust, the definition of trust, and I looked up the definition of trust, in the English dictionary, and trust is, by definition, is when we're able to believe in the reliability and the truth of something, that gives us positive hope and expectation of a good outcome. So that's almost the Queen's English, if you will, dictionary description of trust. But for me, I just want to walk through with you, and for us to explore together what trust looks like to you, what trust looks like to me in my life. And maybe we can put, as we always do, we love to finish these podcasts with the section that we call Tools for Wellness. So right at the end of our conversation, at the end of this podcast, I'm just going to leave you with some things to consider and maybe implement into your life a little bit if you think it's appropriate for you. And our subject this week is, why should I cultivate trust in my life? And essentially what I'm talking about here is, are you able to maintain a degree of trust and confidence in the process and the unfolding of your life, in the face of unwanted events, in the face of, like, holy heck, why is this happening to me? This is the last thing I wanted. It's the last thing I needed. I just wish it wasn't in my life. So what we're going to do is talk about, because when life is bobbing along cool and great and smooth, and everything's we're in the flow and everything's going with us, they're not truly the moments in our life when we need trust. We need that inner confidence. The times that we need to draw on, a foundation of trust, is when we're going through the challenge, when we're perhaps in the middle of a storm of something. It could be financial difficulty, it could be career challenges, it could be health, And I mean, challenges can go right to the whole nth degree of relationships, and maybe losing somebody, losing a relationship that you have with somebody that doesn't want to be in that relationship anymore, or losing somebody in a literal sense, where where bereavement and losing somebody close to you can, for many of us, present the biggest challenge of our lives, when we're going through perhaps an experience of profound loss. I'd like you to just kind of bear with me right now, and just as we just cover off a couple of base markers. I'm not really talking about personal trust in the sense of, are you a trustworthy person? I'm asking you to really reflect inwardly on, am I a person that trusts? So, there's a slight nuance between those two sentences, but the difference is huge. I do want to just give you a couple of examples of what I term to be unconscious trust, where we are trusting in a process of something, really without any evidence of why we should. We all trust unconsciously. And I want to talk about learning to trust consciously and deliberately. And when I say trust unconsciously, to just give you a couple of real simple, everyday examples. You're driving along the highway and you come to traffic lights, and the light is on green. You just drive straight across. You don't approach it and slow down and hesitate, and can I trust that the light the other direction is on red? You don't. You just go through. And getting on an aeroplane, which can be a nervous experience for a lot of people, but we, each and every one of us, we get on that plane and we trust that the plane is going to stay in good shape. We trust that the pilot and the crew all know what they're doing, that the plane's been served. We don't think about any of those things. We get on the airplane and we go wherever we're going. And another good one that touched me, I went through an experience myself in the last 12 months, is if ever you find yourself in life needing a surgery, you do your due diligence, you do your checking up, you make sure you're in the hands of an expert, and then you trust. You go into that surgery, you get your anesthetic, you get put unconscious, and you go into that for that surgery, but you're going in there trusting that you're going to wake up in an hour's time or whatever it may be, and you're going to be in good shape. So here's a perspective that I was given about unconscious trust, and it's just something to think about. Like, wherever you are right now, right at this moment, whether you're sat at home, whether you're driving, wherever you might be listening to this podcast, right now, within the universe, the Earth is spinning at 1,000 miles an hour, a little bit over 1,000 miles an hour. So we're rotating, we're spinning at 1,000 miles an hour. And at the same time, we're moving on our annual orbit through space at over 65,000 miles an hour. So this, you might not have been aware of these facts, but it was one of my teachers just said to me, we're spinning and we're hurtling through space, and yet we're completely at ease with that. We're completely at ease with, here I am in my home talking to you guys, completely, if you like, unaware of all of that movement, all of that incredible dynamic movement, and we're just trusting that the Earth is right where it should be. It's moving through the cosmos right where it should be. So anyway, guys, there's just a few examples of unconscious trust. So I think hopefully I've made a few points there where you can see what I'm kind of asking you to look at, yep, I do trust unconsciously. There's a whole host of things that I do trust in, that I don't worry about, that if I think about them, I'm going to worry, but I don't think about them. I just accept that they're going to be fine, and I'm in a good place. Now let's move into the area of what I am really, really asking you to consider and contemplate and perhaps bringing into your life, is that of creating conscious trust, where you are aware of your thought processes, you're aware of your life, you are living through the events of your life, and no matter what they may be, we're going to look at providing a foundation of trust, and why that is so beneficial. In deep trust, there is a knowingness, there is a peace, and there is a calm and well-being, where no matter what storm may be blowing all around me, it's not going to pull me off course. It's not going to break me up. I'm not going to be that leaf blowing in the wind down the road, hither and thither. I'm just not going to do it, because I have a place within me that I can go to, that I can rely on, and I can rest in, that trusts in the process of life. As we move into this section, guys, I really, really want to almost, nudge you a little bit, and to just try to get you to consider a few concepts that perhaps you haven't consciously. And again, with all of our work, these themes are meant to do really one thing and one thing only, and that is expand awareness, grow each of individually, grow our wisdom and our well-being and our joy and satisfaction in life. So again, let's not forget our 50,000 foot direction of where we're going with this. And I want to ask you guys, do you believe the universe is in perfect order, or do you believe it's random chaos? And that is a question that I really, really want you to think about. The nature of the question is such that you can't pick and choose. It's all or nothing, and by that I mean yes, the universe is in perfect order, or it is random chaos. There can't be parts of the universe that are in perfect order and parts that are random chaos. It's all one or the other. And for me, I mean, the whole thing is just in perfect order. I cannot in my life, and I cannot really perceive that this entire wondrous spectacle, of the whole cosmos that just moves and orchestrates in perfect synchronicity in the beautiful nature of everything on the planet. There is an innate divine order to everything. So if the universe is in order and I'm in the universe, my life must be in order. And where I'm going with this, guys, is if things are in order, we're going to end up, when we get towards the end of the section with the tools for wellness, we're going to get to, tools of how do I create this space and stay in it. I want to just put another thing in front of you to consider, another question to just consider. Albert Einstein posed a question in his life as a result of his work. And that question was, do you believe that the universe you live in is a friendly, loving, and supportive place? Or do you believe that the universe is just random? And he went on to offer that how you answer that question will fundamentally affect your experience of life. So again, I think it's a beautiful, beautiful question. And I take that question really as a question of trust. It feeds in to my awareness as John, do you believe that this universe is a fundamentally loving and supportive environment, or do I believe it's just utterly random? And I believe that it is a loving and supportive place. So as we keep, we've looked at these, this question of trust from 50,000 feet. Let's bring it right in now to you and to me. And can we hold and develop in our awareness a deep trust in life? Because it's an incredibly empowering place for us to be, because when you have that innate trust in the process of your life, it will lead to confidence and courage and be, just in a powerful place as you move through your life and as you meet challenges head on, just with this deep sense of knowing that despite what might be right in front of my nose right now, everything's going to be okay. I'm going to get through this. There will come a point where this will be behind me, not in front of me, I'm not in the midst of it. So that trust, to bring that trust to those moments in our lives, is just incredibly, incredibly comforting. For the record, I live my life from this place. I live my life as an example of profound trust. I choose to trust that the universe is loving me and supporting me and has got my back, and everything is going to be all right. Whatever I might be worried about in my head, or whatever might be in front of me right in that moment, I choose to trust that I am living in a loving and supportive universe. I know I put some things out there for you to think on, and I know there'll be a whole bunch of you guys out there that are saying, oh, well, that's beautiful for you, John, and that's fantastic for you, John, but you don't know my life. You don't know what I'm going through. Or you may say, because these issues and questions have come up a lot on our TikToks. They've come up a lot on the live Q&As. What I'm trying to say, I guess, is these are not lofty ideals that I've just plucked out of the sky. Profound grief has touched me in my life. I've known that loss. I grew up on welfare, and single mom for a lot of years and all those type of things. Left school at 16 and whatever. So these are truly core principles of my life on which I do my darndest every single day to live in this place. And again, I know you could say, but John, turn on the nightly news, turn on the TV. You only got to see, the world is full of terrible, awful things going on all over the planet. And, in the face of great or immense tragedy, there can be profound nobility, immense courage, unbridled love can all be present in the face of what is on the surface an absolute tragedy. So I trust the universe, I trust God, I trust your source, the creator, whatever your term of reference for this higher power. I trust that I don't have all the facts. I don't know every nuance of what's going on. So where am I going with this? There may be something bigger and broader and deeper playing out in your life that is calling on you to trust this inner place within you. That, wherever you are right now, again, listen to this podcast. You are a testament right now, right this very moment, to your own life. And you got through everything. You survived it all. You transcended it all. You got through it because you're here today, sat listening. So, really what I'm talking about is, almost getting ahead of the challenge before the challenge comes in your life, and before the moment where we doubt comes. Get working on this inner foundation within you, this bedrock, if you like, for building this resource within you of confidence and inner courage, where you've gotten through everything that life has thrown at you up to this point. You've got through it. You're here. You're right now. Trust is a choice. To trust is a decision. It's a decision that you must make. Trust is an energy that you can build, create, and direct in your life. And trust it's the balm for, a frantic mind and a weary heart. Trust is the great comforter in your life. And I want to perhaps take a moment to just shout out for all of you guys, shout out for me. And again, it's kind of semi-humorous, but life is not for the faint-hearted. You got to show up and you got to get in the game, baby. You got to cross that line and get in the game that is your life. The wisdom and the knowledge that you've already gained in your life up to this point, from all your past successes, from all your past failures and challenges, the times you flew and the times you crashed, all of that is contributing to your own sense of authenticity, your own sense of inner power. And there was perhaps, bring the wisdom of hindsight, your future hindsight, to the present moment. We all talk that hindsight's 2020. We look back and we see the perfection, what we could have done, should have done, but that you got through it all. So there may have been a moment 5 years ago today, whatever the date is today, that you were lost in worry and concern and maybe anguish about an event in your life. Well, today, that event is nothing more than a memory. It's a memory. It's not charged for you anymore, typically. It's gone, it's over, you survived it. So if you're facing a challenge today, can you bring the wisdom of your future hindsight to your anguish today? There will come a time where today's worry and concern will be nothing more than a memory. So move to that place in the moment of the challenge. And lastly, on this point, all I believe the universe calls on us to do is to do our very best in every situation, is to give of our best. Give it everything we've got, Don't leave anything, back in the locker room, as they say. You give your life everything. And then when you've given it everything, you give it up to the universe. You trust, you gave of your best. You gave it everything. What more can you do? I mean, we say to our kids in life, as long as you did your best, honey. Well, say that to yourself now and again. Look yourself in the mirror and say, I gave it everything. I gave my best. I gave it my best. So now I've just got to trust that it's going to unfold in perfect order. The greater good of my life is unfolding right now. We finish every podcast with a little section that really is, again, it's a foundation stone for us, and it's our Tools for Wellness segment where I ask you to introduce practices into your life that are just going to enhance your well-being, your happiness, your joy, your satisfaction. And around this issue of trust and developing trust and creating trust, this is what I'd like to see you do. Say for the next week, make a commitment to yourself right now, right in this moment, that every morning before your day begins, you've done your morning meditation, you've taken your 10, 15 minutes, however long it is, where you've gone to that space to get grounded and to get centered and to get ready for your day. Here's what I'd like you to do for a week and sense the shift that it might bring you, that I believe it will bring you. When you're coming off your meditation, just say to yourself quietly, whisper gently, I trust the universe. I trust my life. I trust the events in my life are here to show me something, to teach me something that at some level I needed to learn. Keep your judgment out of it. Keep your ego out of it. Just go to this place where you are saying at a deep and profound level from way down inside of you, I trust my life. I trust the universe. I trust God, source, creation, whatever your terms for divinity are, and just sit in that space. Just sit there and sit in that energy of, because the universe is going to respond to you. When you get in this place of trust, it will slowly build your confidence and your strength. So folks, this is why I'm encouraging you to integrate this thinkingness and to integrate these ideas into your life. They're gonna give you confidence. They're gonna give you strength. They're gonna give you belief that you can rely on the universe. You can depend on the universe. You can depend on the process of your life for it to unfold exactly how it's meant to unfold. And a parting thought is just trust that all is well. Trust that your greater good is always unfolding, and as you integrate these things and they shift in your awareness and they settle into your beingness, you will just naturally make a gift of your life. Your life will become the gift in the world, and the world will be a better place because you're in it. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. That wraps up this episode on trust and why we should cultivate it. I love you guys deeply. Please check us out. The website is up, johnmunn.com. TikToks are going out. Podcasts, as you know now, the series are out and running. And reach out to us anytime, any questions. I'd love your take on what we've talked about today. For those of you that may be interested, again, I'm taking on private clients now that can work on a one-to-one basis in a life coaching session, and I'm just thrilled to be offering my experiences back to the world. Decades in the corporate world that I've talked about, a lifelong journey, spiritual journey on life, that we can bring significant help and improvement in all areas, whether it's finances, career, relationship, wellness, happiness. So check our sessions out if you think you have any interest. We'd again love to hear from you. I love you guys. Stay safe, stay blessed. Until next time. Thanks, guys. Love ya.